Yeah, man.
You can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs.
What can I do for you?
Oh, little song, dance. Thought I was a Pisces.
Speaking of cool, he bang bang. How long do we have? He bang 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 bang. This motherfucker. Nigga, let's get it started, this motherfucker, nigga. Oh shit. There go that boy, mama. There go that boy. What's up, man? You alright? Alright, how you doing? Come on, nigga. Alright, alright. How you doing, man? Sound good, sound good. Let's see. Yeah, we got you done screwing up. He said he got a problem to a song. They ain't never too cool to be that cool. So don't be uncool. I said I was never really cool on cool. No, you don't damn well on me. From past mafioso wars, we got make a snake go LL and do the walk. If you can all me, your boy I bet, cause I ain't met a motherfucker who can do that yet. Street Center, I'm better, we rhymes are good. I gotta donate weight, but since I wish you would, it was about to begin then. I gotta join in before my round is over. You know I'm a win, cool changes a weapon, so you better make way. If anybody in the crowd can say the kid don't play. Sport competition is my hobby and job. I don't wear this guy because I throw the mob. Got a pinpoint breath that leaves you on track. So many girls in my trap, I keep my body intact. I'm bad. I'm a soldier at war, I'm making sure you don't try to battle me no more. Been rapping 14 years, man, even when I'm bragging, I'm being sincere. MC ain't win, I'm making words like 10, they call me George, my head is like a short spear. Yeah, it keeps making rappers better, nothing but rap. That's what it's true, and it'll stay that way. The best rapper you heard is FFUJ. Hit the roof in my basement, now I'm number one. Never standing on line, you wanna try me? First you better learn how to rhyme. I'm the pinnacle, that means I reign supreme. And I'm notorious, I crush you like a jelly bean. Oh, good stuff, baby. Shut up and jump to a suit to hurt me, and the ego strong. I'm dominated. I'm so good it's a shame. I'm rappers like a cannibal, they call me insane. I'm a smart boy, of course you know I ain't born. I enjoy what I'm doing, plus I'm playing it full. Not fucking who brought God, but busting out and die. Say the kind of rhymes and making seeds wish that I die. Never retire, I put my mic on the shelf. The baddest rapper in the history of rap itself. Not bitter or mad, just proving I'm bad. You wanna hit, give me an hour plus a pin in a bag. Let's just can be I'm in the battle and the rep on kill. I'm the best, taking out all rookies. Don't forget Oreos, eat Cool J cookies. I'm bad. I'll treat you like a step-up, cause I'm broken block. Stroller in the season, I'ma never get whipped. When I retire, I'll be worshiped like a low battle shit. Hell, I'm bad. Other rappers know when I hit the center, they say, yo, there he goes. My brother was hard, Mr. Bogart John. Not a punch or all, hunger from the rap who is lost. He original born, teaching how to be hard. Take the skin off his neck, and split a beat from a bar. You're a number, some noble, and I just keep on the top. Not a tell of the run, my long good. opinion in a jag. You wanna brag, you get your rhymes from a grab bag. No drug scavenger, can't fit sucker. My conversation is conversation starter. I'm bad. Which one? This right here. You see this guy right here with the blue light on? It has its own speaker installed. Yeah. Oh, you got to unplug it. You got to unplug it. That's the only one that has steps, the only one that has speed. So that means everybody can hear every thing we talk about. You don't hear you, right? I mean, like, wait a minute, I'm talking about you. For a while, man. This is so motherfucking it feels fantastic to hang out with you beautiful people tonight. It feels fantastic, you know what I'm talking about? I got a beautiful classy crew in-house as goddamn usual. On this motherfucker, Mr. Mayor birthday celebrating weekend. Yeah, buddy, man. Make it all look like another man. Now, without further ado, let me keep you with the classy crew as goddamn usual. And I'm the song right over there, the man himself, Mr. Mayor. Happy birthday to you and all your constituents and lovely family, friends, and all that good stuff right there. Let us begin again. How do you know tonight, good sir?
Countdown to Mayor Music Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Is ongoing. The IMOC convention ceremony is underway.
The IMOC convention ceremony.
The International Month of Cool, the convention ceremony is underway. The annual lighting of the torch and all of the ceremonial events that go with it, and they make it such a gala event. It should be, I believe it's going to be televised on C-SPAN.
C-SPAN, okay.
I know for a fact because they had to buy the rights from RockyNation.com.
Yeah.
The home
of
IMOC and all the things that are IMOC-ish and Mayor Music and political studies. So, shout out to y'all for cutting shit.
Shout out you good people.
All I can say is that, this is political studies.
That's me, yeah.
You stay fancy in
Oh, man, I love it. One of y'all brothers got a little bit older going on this weekend, you know what I'm saying? And we ain't sure for no non-sports, you know what I'm talking about? We're going to talk about that in a minute. But without further ado, that right over there, you see his shirt, you see his debonair, you see how he carry himself, how he talk about it, how he walk about it, how he be about it. That right there is Lamar. The urban navigate in the building, baby. Make some noise with your homies. I was trying to be a big homie.
It feels good to be able to talk like a walker, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, man. Talking like you're walking like you're talking.
Oh, turn the microphone on, like the bass.
The basses?
No, the Black baby.
The black baby? What am I looking at? What am I doing over here? Help me out, Mr. Man. Help me. Help me. Help me. Oh, yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that'll work if you turn them on. Yeah, that would really be helpful if you turn it on. Yeah. You gotta turn your mic on.
I had a bright idea. I thought that's what.
Oh, you know what it was?
I turned it off. That's my bad. I was troubleshooting.
Oh, you know, that's the better. That's logical thinking, though. That's very logical. That's very logical. Go ahead, big homie. Go ahead, man. We'll talk to the people.
I ain't got much to say. I just want to make sure y'all understand that I'm here. I'm back in the building. I ain't been here for like 2 weeks. I've been on vacation.
Yeah, man, where the hell you been?
Taking care of some things, you know what I'm saying?
Taking care of business every day. Taking care of business every day. Yes.
Okay, just check.
Yes.
And y'all can read the show.
Yes, we do.
I have something to say. If I had one wish, I would never wish to be uncool. Ever.
He was talking about your song, the video.
You have to.
He's talking about your video, Mr. Man.
And he knows for a fact that
I know where it comes from.
he knows where it comes from. So that's why it's such a
But he's saying he still wouldn't want that on
I would never wish that. Because the bottom line, you can be cool like me, but you'll never be as cool as me.
Right. Right. I mean, let's be perfectly honest. We see each other a whole lot. Am I any less cool since that song is been made?
No, sir.
No. And what it is, it's about trying to relate to the common man.
Why? Why would you do that?
Because for some reason the common man won't put any money in your pocket unless he feels like he's, has some sort of relation to you.
Untrue.
Untrue. He disputes that point.
Oh, it's just the niggas here.
Yeah.
Oh, well, fuck them.
Okay, I'm gonna have to put a little bit on clothes.
Well, there you go.
Tiny little woman.
Fuck that, No, of course, there she is right there. We're gonna get into more of that a little bit later on, man. Y'all love her, y'all see her, y'all miss your daughter, the one and only, the lovely Miss Lala in the building. Y'all make some damn noise. I said make some damn noise, goddammit. Take your time in the building. Woo! Every chocolate.
Talking to my baby. Actually, both of them. I was talking to my old baby, face to face, and then the younger baby was texting me talking about he's gonna go out.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, bye.
Yeah.
But that's what I was doing when I was in there talking to my baby, and that's what I do.
It's amazing how time flies, man.
It ain't right.
So see, I got one of the pictures right there. I put a post on Facebook a little bit.
What's that? What you got?
Picture of the boys, and they was like, one of the pictures got upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when I think Julie was 4 and the other one was 2.
Okay.
It's just amazing how fast the time flew by. It is just absolutely amazing. And both these boys, now they grown, out the house. One got a fiance, wife, his own crib, and doing his own damn thing. Got his own car.
Internet providers. Okay, hold on. He was raised by us. He believes in certain things.
That's certain values.
You know you got your back like I was practicing.
Even better, he's like, if they can make it.
I can be a damn Mary Tyler Moore damn self. We're gonna make. And then the other one, he out there spreading his wings and smelling himself a little bit, having a full-time job and shit. You know what I'm talking about?
We don't know.
There we go.
Yeah, Mr. Lee smelling himself. Mr. Lee smelling himself a
He's
little bit.
making me a trust issue.
Yeah.
I like it. That's a stand-up individual right there.
He's something. He's a hell of a character. He's a hell of and it's just a joy watching them boys grow up the way we did. You know what I'm talking about? Because, you there.
You there? Like, for real?
Yeah, for real. You're there.
And Mr. Lee is the younger brother like myself.
Yeah. I think that's why y'all get along so well. Hey, y'all see how I like that. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna be up under no nigga shadow, nigga. I'm finna quit my own goddamn retreat. Shit. I ain't gonna go ahead and croak his ass up all I want to.
Right.
I'm gonna walk to work.
I'm gonna walk to work. And then say my brother text me, what are you doing?
Yeah. That was real cool was that
Older brother miss younger brother. Said little brother text last week. Say, man, what you doing? I'm gonna come pick you up. We're gonna hang out, alright?
My business. Why don't you try?
They went through that phase where it was like, get away from me, little brother. Why you don't like me, big brother?
Oh man, they was that thing. I had to break them up a couple times upstairs. Wrestling over socks and drawers. And everything my socks.
Well, because you have one brother, who literally makes his bed military style. Room is like, he knows when something's out of place.
Yeah,
and then you got big brother that's like, that pile's clean, that pile's suspect, that one's kind of dirty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the little brother's room where I know everything's clean.
Yeah, get what I need.
And then the little brother goes,
oh, hell no.
oh, those are my school slacks. He's like, well, those are my work slacks, and issues
Oh,
around.
next thing you know, you just hear furniture move.
How about school / work / Get your own. You got a job. How about some work slacks?
Yeah, you ain't too much talking.
These slacks always sound professional.
You just hear gravitational forces being shifted.
And then mom goes,
And they breathing hard and shit. It is hilarious, baby. I'm like, all right, hey.
and then I have to patch up holes, and each one blames the other one. Well,
Yeah.
he shouldn't have kicked the door. Well, he shouldn't have taken my shit and locked his door.
This shit is funny, man.
Yeah,
This shit is funny.
I remember one time my brother, like, we was getting into it, and like he actually drove me through the wall.
Yeah.
Like it was like a body size
Right.
hole in the wall.
Yeah. Well, you know,
Like me and my brother.
sister-in-law Noni would come over and she'd hear them upstairs, and you know, she don't have boys, she has one boy. She'd be like, oh, what are they doing up there? I'm like, oh, they're playing.
They big boys.
Oh, they feel like they finna come from the, I go, until we see blood or broken bones, we're good.
They're having a conversation.
Yeah.
They're working it out.
They're bonded.
Yeah. And then, you know, to have them raised like that and all that stuff, and you know, and everything that they saw as they was growing up, everything from the old man and mama struggling and all this good stuff right here, from a little tiny ass apartment to hanging out with the homies, and his uncle's always over, you know, like every, you know, understand that family bondness, but understand they ain't got no business in their uncle business. You know what I'm saying? They grown up business. You see your uncles, you say hi, you come get your sandwich plate, you get some nachos, take your ass upstairs, and go play Nintendo.
And they still do that now.
Yeah. Let grown folks do what grown folks do. And you know, that's kind of the difference between a lot of kids now. You know, the parents want to party and kick with, no.
Yeah, man.
No, we don't do that. You know what I'm saying? And then Lord have mercy if anything happened to either one of them, or if either one of them had an issue, from the aunts, from the uncles, much less the parents and all that shit right there, shit got shut down.
Yeah, we don't get that whole, that, what we just saw the other night, that had us mouth open.
That was crazy. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
I'll bring it up.
Okay, I'm gonna bring it up.
All right, bring it up.
He and I are sitting there watching like No Shocking, you know, our Thursday nights, our funny haha shit. And they show, you know, you got bitches bull riding, falling off. You got other people, you know, pole dancing and falling off. You know, just stupid shenanigan type bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Did you say pole dancing or hoe dancing?
She said pole dancing. Yeah, but give me quantify this both.
Same difference.
Well, I think pole dancing is an art. Okay, anyway, it's very hard.
Yeah, you need to
I'm
continue.
working on that again.
Sure.
So anyway, sure.
I'm gonna play the guitar. Then I'm gonna pass the ball.
So anyway, you know,
The kid is gone. We can make his room into a. I haven't thought of that. We can make his room into a very nice pole dance room.
We have to get the other one out first. Let's wait, pace
Yeah,
ourselves.
because what if you walk in and see that would
What's his fault? You already.
traumatize him for the rest of his life.
That's
I'm probably sure he's already traumatized.
What about the children?
Okay, let me get back to it. Okay, so you got like I don't like this.
Look at him.
He don't like it at all. He's like, I've been dealing with this. The point being is we're watching all kinds of crazy shit. You know, people like literally sewing their name on their tongue and shit. So it's all just like bullshit, stupid shit.
Shit you want to laugh to just to get out of the
just to laugh at. And then they have, the boy couldn't have been no older than 6, if that.
I give it 4, but that's crazy.
And they got him, he's in a pool, right? And he's rapping.
Little Popey.
I don't know what he was.
He's
But
not.
he's rapping.
He's not.
Okay, whatever.
Okay.
He's rapping.
What's the name of that song? It might be the same
I
song.
don't even know. But there's like 4 grown-ass women in bikinis.
Don't stop jumping.
No, it wasn't like that. He wasn't cursing or anything. It was, I forget how the lyrics went, but it was something about, jiggle that butt. Let's go on a date and jiggle that butt. And he's sitting like this, and there's just asses wiggling around him.
Grown women.
He looks so like, he doesn't even look at the butts. That shows how young he is. He's like, I'm not cognizant of butts. But it's just so, and it's like, what, a 3-minute part of it that we saw.
Everyone, yeah, go ahead.
The women that are in bikinis are singing the lyrics.
Hey, hold up. He has this squirt gun, this long squirt gun, and he's squirting the lady down.
Yes.
I'm gonna get you wet. She just all like, hey. He don't know what he's saying, but he don't know what he's doing, but he just, I'm like, huh?
We were.
That wasn't funny.
It was not.
It's like it's a little Hispanic kid, right?
No, it was a
It's real
black
funny.
kid. It was a little black kid.
I'm positive. That little
Okay,
boy, Johnny
so
Ryan.
the Hispanic kid doing the same thing too, really?
Yeah, this one is 9.
No, this kid had before 6 years old.
And he had little braids.
He had braids. He was black.
No, this is a different kid.
That's disgusting. You got 2 kids doing the same thing right now.
Disgusting. And I'm sitting there going, if my sons didn't even do that. They don't do that now.
Yeah.
Like to emulate, a rapper or anyone, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then what parent allowed and condoned that shit and then promoted it?
Yeah, because see, we was talking about this other kid last night. His name's Lil Poopy, and he's 9 years old. And he did like a remix to that French Montana, that don't stop, drop that.
No,
Okay, don't
same thing. Okay.
But he got, you know what I'm saying, like YouTube actually took these videos down.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Because there was one video that got like 400,000 hits on it, and like this kid is 9 years old slapping grown women on the back, on the ass, his father. You know what I'm saying? And his father's friends are all behind him, egging him on. And this little 9-year-old kid is rapping.
That's disgusting.
Like this is like up in Connecticut. Like they actually called child services.
Yeah.
And that's what made YouTube take the videos down.
They need to call child service on this video we saw on the damn show. What are you doing? And you wondering why our kids are fucked up. You wonder why our kids don't have any other sanctity about them because you as a parent, your parent is telling your sons to get in the water with these women squirting with water guns and talk about bouncing, and you stupid ass women are in bikinis bouncing your ass around this. What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
What made you say okay to this video?
What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
I mean, like I honestly believe like CPS and all of these, you know what I'm saying, children protection services and all that. Like need to monitor the internet shit that be going on the internet.
Absolutely.
Because this shit has been going on forever. Because it's like a few years ago when I saw this video of this, like she's like a teenager, maybe like 15, 16, maybe 17 years old, high school age. But she's like twerking and she got a little baby. Baby couldn't be no more than 7, 8 months, like hanging onto her back while she twerking.
I've seen those. I've seen a couple videos like that.
Okay.
I've been alone.
See, now those, for the record, people, those should be the easy cases because you have proof of what the hell's going on. As opposed to all the other pointless shit, you know what I'm saying, that you call yourself.
That is asinine.
And I'm telling you, we sat there and we had to take a second and walk away. And
the shit wasn't funny no more.
Yeah, we were like, did we just really see this?
The shit was not funny no more. They get fucked up my funny. They get fucked up my funny. Like, this shit was not funny.
That's my point.
I know what you wanted to do. You kick him in the small of the back right into a display case.
I wanted to meet his father. I wanted to meet whoever filmed that shit. I wanted to meet whoever said it was okay for a little boy to be in there.
This is soft pornography.
Yes,
child pornography.
Pretty much, yeah. I wanted to meet that individual and have a conversation.
No, you should be duct taped, drenched in Hennessy, and set on fire. That's what we know.
Don't take yourself there.
I'm sure rubbing alcohol may have the same effect, but just saying.
The only
It was quite disgusting.
He's a great guy.
Quite disgusting. But again, it just
It made us appreciate, not that we ever question ourselves, but it just made us like, oh, thank goodness.
You know, to see how bad off kids can actually be with the moronic parents that they have, and then not saying that we was the best parents on planet Earth.
Right.
But goddamn, we still, you know, we was kids raising kids. We still have some goddamn moral values about us, and much less their uncles and their aunts. They have the same goddamn values.
That we had around them had the same values.
Like, get the kid out of here.
Right.
And all this shit right here, so yeah. I mean,
we did stupid shit.
No, of course we did stupid shit.
But we were like, oh, the kids are here. Or don't bring the kids in. You go stay at grandma's house.
The kids are always the priority first.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And still are.
Yeah, see, like,
fuck them kids.
like when I was younger, man, like whenever people would go over, like come over to the house, I'd stay in my room. I wouldn't come out. You know what I'm saying? And people always ask, why he always back there in the room? Like, why he don't never come tonight? Because it's grown folks in there. Like, I'm back here doing whatever it is I want to do.
I don't really want to be bothered with the grown folks now. Y'all want me to go refill you? All kind of shit.
Show me
y'all want me to let you learn how to use the cable and shit.
What do that dance you do? Right when you do, boy. Come here. Hell no.
I don't like when you do that.
I'm on this cycle. How about you leave me be? I don't want to play. I want to change the channel.
I want to poke their hand in the door. What you doing right here? Minding my business.
How about you go back doing grown folks?
All our kids were upstairs. We wait for toilet. Y'all wait in 5 minutes. They gonna order Little Caesars. Watch. Let's keep playing the game. It's coming. It's coming. And we get grape juice.
That's what kids happy about. They already knew that these gonna be coming sometime.
Baby, turn up.
And as soon as I hear that door close,
Italian and wine.
Everybody left. That's when I came.
They never had no problem talking about what you doing downstairs. They knew. They was upstairs. They had everything they needed, and what we checked on. Dude, we never put them in danger and jeopardy. I mean, like you said, they were our priority. We sure as hell weren't publicizing and demoralizing and fucking put. I don't even if YouTube was around back then, they would not have been on YouTube. You don't do that.
And they did what they supposed to do. They were doing something wrong. They hid it from us.
Right, like you're supposed to.
Yeah, you're supposed to.
Like you're supposed to.
Yeah, like hold up. So quiet up there.
Yeah, because it's a whole lot of shit.
Occasionally you see a kid roll down the stairs. What happened?
Yeah. That's the mouth. Give him kiss the mouth. You okay now? Kiss the mouth. We'll get a pizza. All right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's the y'all trying to be grown folks.
Because we knew the difference. And now they're throwing kids in there and then asking what the fuck's wrong with kids. You know what? You're wrong. You're wrong with kids. You're wrong.
That's so wrong. They grown. They listen.
Right.
It's grown for conversation out there.
Exactly. I'm talking about she going on 20. Like, you the reason why she acting that old.
Yeah.
Dude, I saw an episode of what was I watching?
Wilkos.
Steve Wilkos.
Say White Steve.
White Steve's Gary. Used to be Gary. Yeah.
White Steve.
You know, you guys know what's up. Anywho. The show that was being talked about was about women who purposefully the title of the show was I lied. They lied. I'm not a molester. Right. So what Steve does is give the men and the women lie detector tests. Alright?
Being fair.
So yeah, being fair both. And for the men, it was really direct. It was like, did you molest this child? Did you have thoughts about this child? And all stuff right here, such and so and so. And they had and then they had with the women, It's like, did you purposely did you purposely lie on this husband?
Right.
Did you purposely lie on the man? Did you purposely deceive the child? And all the stuff right here. And they had a lie detector for that. And then they had a lie detector expert that came on and pretty much said it's pretty much impossible to beat a lie detector test based upon the questions and the exactness of it, because your body just can't, you can't beat a lie detector test. He's saying about the body heat temperature, your heart murmur, everything, and the fingers, and how they, he's like, you know, they said there was 3 categories for it. You can be no, 4 I believe. They said you can be.
I don't know. I was in the emergency room while he was watching.
Yeah, we'll get that in a minute. But
he was still taking care.
He had the 4 categories were deceptive, inconclusive. No. Extremely deceptive.
Yeah.
Deceptive, inconclusive, or non-declusive, or non-deceptive at all. Or patent. You're not
lying. They give you 3 options to be full of shit and 1 to tell the truth. Well,
yeah.
This is
So there you go. That's exactly what it was.
There's only one level of the truth, but there's many levels of lying, motherfuckers.
Okay, listen.
That makes complete sense.
There's only one version.
And that's why I say you can't beat the lie detector test. Because it gives you all these different, you're either inconclusive, you're deceptive, or you're extremely deceptive, or you're not lying.
Right.
And that's why they carry it out like that. They do heat waves and all that. So anyway, these men were accused by the women who were exes or current spouses, ex-spouses, ex-girlfriends, whatever, of molesting their child. Right? We know the ghetto. I lost weight, came down, and she's looking out there. So, these women actually called Steve to have them on the show in regards to their husbands molesting their children.
Right.
And they agreed to take the lie detector test. You did? And they agreed.
So you know.
Come on, man, give me a little second. Here's my damn point.
Okay.
We ain't got that guy. I'm gonna say y'all.
Who did?
So these men came on. They you know how they laid out. They laid out the whole scenario. They had the women out there first. He molested my daughter. My daughter came and told me that he molested her and sister so and so, and he touched her head, touched her leg, tried to kiss, tried to have sex with her, and had the crowd just hot. Oh, you know how many motherfuckers when they call him out. You know that dirty motherfucker. Yeah. Such and so. Oh, Steve says, you know, bring the guy out, and he's like, and dude's like, you lying bitch, and just so and so, and so Steve asked, nigga, did you touch this girl? No, sir. All right, okay. And did you have any kind of sex with her? No, sir. Well, I got your lie detector test right here, buddy. Look for that.
When it comes to the case,
right?
Yeah. First, I asked you those 2 questions. Yeah. And you told the truth. On this lie detector test.
hey,
And he turned to the woman.
So did.
He said, now you said, and the crowd was like, damn.
bitch.
And now you said that you did not have any deception against him when you said that he touched your daughter. You said that you did not do this for selfish gains and all this so and so.
Right.
For deceiving practices and purposes, right? Well, you're not, no. This is extremely deceptive. Not just deceptive, extremely. And then, you know, the sister was like, oh hell no, I can think, what's your shit say? And they brought out the polygraph guy to explain exactly what that means. Like, okay, what is it? He's like, you got, this is why we had these different levels, like we were talking about before. This is why we had these different levels in the lie detector or polygraph exam, to give, credence to in case she was nervous or over-exaggerating and such and so and so. And so we give them these outs. And if she had any doubt in anything she was saying, or if she was inconsistent with any of the answers, then it would reach a deception, or it would reach a, inconclusive. Right. But her answers were extremely deceptive.
Bitch, you a lie.
That means she was lying on every one of these consistently.
Is your name really Beth? No.
Look at her bitch.
Are you really a woman? No. You're a liar. You're a liar.
You're a liar.
You're his baby, bitch.
I have some real irony about this whole situation.
Well, let me finish. And they did this for like 4 or 5 couples that came out. And all the women were lying on these men. Every last one of them. Deceptive or extremely deceptive. And the things these men had to go through, of course, they were pulled into court. Of course, they had the criminal checks and all that stuff right here. So they had the kids taken away from them. They had the CPS services. The whole nine. Just one dude.
They probably had to register as sex offenders.
It depends on the state, because some states require.
Is what they were saying. Yeah. Allegation alone have people looking at you like.
Well, it's state required. Like in states of Texas, you got to register as sex offender. Right. But in some states, you're not required unless such and so and so extreme.
Be a certain level or whatever.
Yeah. So it depends. Different states have different laws on stuff right here. But it was the consistency of women manipulation against these men to get them out of these kids' life, or for tax purposes, to claim these kids on their taxes.
Yeah, that
to get custody back of these children to claim them on the taxes.
That thing didn't make no sense.
You did. The logic behind this shit and how venomously they attacked this man and destroyed this man's life because of their own selfish gains is absolutely mind blowing. It's absolutely mind. It fucked me up, dude. It fucked me up.
I'm not surprised because it's actually happened to somebody that I know.
That's just horrible.
Yeah.
Like,
you shouldn't have to.
Like he was behind bars for like 5 years behind.
Wow.
On the line, they talk about he molested her daughter. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's not surprising me.
And there should be a reckoning where these women, you filed a false police report, and in my opinion, they were falsely imprisoned then.
Yep.
And that is a federal offense.
Yep.
So why aren't you? I don't want to hear I'm sorry.
I don't want to hear.
Whether it was a man or I don't give a shit. What you did was wrong. If you don't know, then fucking say I don't know. This is what my baby said. Okay, and let them go do it. But to do, and then even if they get out, they still have that stigma.
It's a stigma. Yeah, once it goes out there, it's done. It's a wrap.
Bad news travels 3 times as fast as any good news.
Yeah. You can't really come back from that. You know what I'm talking about?
Here's my irony, though.
Go ahead.
I hate to make light of this, but hey, this is what
you're gonna.
This is what I do. If you're going to redeem yourself anywhere, would the Steve Wilkos show really be the place you want to redeem yourself? I mean, wouldn't you want this to happen on Oprah so a lot more people would see it?
Well, they all affiliated, so.
You know Oprah ain't gonna. They always let that shit happen. Oprah ain't gonna let that shit. All these women is lying.
Look, I would tell you right now.
All right, they're doing because I am a victim.
That's true. That's true.
She's like, I am a victim. So, in her mind, I'm only gonna, I believe. She's not gonna turn the tables.
I know.
Right.
So then you have, a show like the Steve Wilkos show. It's gonna be like, I'm going to redeem those men. And I'm not bashing Oprah for that, because I'm saying that in her mind, she's thinking people don't do this.
Right.
If you really you don't lie about shit like this.
Right.
So she's like, I'm not gonna shed a spotlight on lying bitches because then that may take away from my truth. You know what I'm saying?
That is an excellent.
So that's all I'm saying is that because real people, real honest people don't want to believe that there are people that will fabricate these stories and do all that, because that's disgusting.
It's like
that is an excellent and articulate response.
Like women who have been raped don't want to believe that somebody would lie about being raped.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. I mean, rape is a very disgusting, very violent act. You know what I mean? And women,
I don't want none that ain't giving
there are some women out there that don't understand what rape is. They believe rape is a guilty conscience after having sex.
Right.
i.e. the quarterback at the University of Montana, I believe. Yeah.
Just a whore.
Yeah. Yeah. He just got acquitted. No, he's good.
Okay, go ahead.
He just got acquitted after going to trial because he was originally a starting quarterback. Took the team to a championship in their division, I believe. Had a winning season and everything, and a girl that had consensual sex with him ended up saying that he raped her. So of course he's no longer on the team. You know what I'm saying? Arrested, had to go to trial. All the stuff right here. And in the instance of the outcome, it was agreed upon by the jury that this woman had consensual sex with this man and fabricated the whole thing. So now in the interim, of course his football career is kind of, but much less his name.
Right.
His name. As well as the name of the state on the Minnesota, the Montana, on the University of Montana. So, listen, ladies, hey, listen. I'm not making light of rape at all.
No. Or any violent act.
Or any violent act against women. You know what I'm talking about? I love women. Lord knows I do.
Oh.
You're him. Lord knows I do.
Oh, especially the pretty ones.
Oh, Lord.
All the shapely women.
God bless you.
You did.
God bless you and forever keep you.
Worship him.
Oh, my dear, let me pray for you.
I'm sorry, multiple times. No, I'm sorry. It's good to praise the
Now
Lord.
you're teetering stuff.
It's good to praise the Lord. So, but listen, if you have been raped, you definitely need to walk your ass down the night of the rape, or talk to someone, and get proper help, and make sure that what you are going through is taken care of as soon as possible. They have counselors out there. They have doctors out there that can walk you through this stuff. Even if your family doesn't believe you or understand what's going on, there's therapy and there's help out there for you that can get you through this against that vile act that took place against you. However, women who have sex and regret having sex, keep that regret to yourself. Regret and deal with it. And others on another level, where sex is not even in the picture, but you're hollering or being a victim of a sex crime, may hell be upon you.
Okay. I just think they need to redefine or restate that whole innocent until proven guilty thing. That's not what's happening.
No.
You're not innocent.
No, you're guilty until proven innocent.
You're actually in
As long as you allow people, as long as you allow names to get out there.
Right.
As long as you allow names to get out, that's when people are old.
Right.
You're guilty. There shouldn't be no name.
Perfect. He said it right. He said it right.
From doing that.
And what he just said was that there should be no names released to the public until there is a conviction of the crime.
Some type of resolution.
Here's the other thing I've always thought, and it's more and more,
Very nice.
more and more I'm beginning to think. When you go to court, when you sitting there in court, why is the defendant there?
He shouldn't be there.
Unless he has to testify.
He shouldn't be
The
there.
defendant should be somewhere in a closed off. He can hear and see.
Yeah, but nobody can see him.
Because there's
Bring it
the
on.
race,
Bring it on.
the size of him.
Right.
I've had that happen.
Right.
I've been in a fight or whatever. Well, he's so much bigger. What they got to do? This motherfucker hit me 3 times in the face. I hit him once and now I'm the goddamn problem.
Right.
Maybe I'm bigger than
You're
him.
not in there proving your innocence. You're trying to prove why they should find you guilty.
Yeah.
And that's how they should word it. Because from the moment that allegation has been placed upon you, you're fighting for your right, for who you are, and you're fighting to prove all the reasons why they should not find you guilty, not find you innocent, why they should not find you guilty.
That's the first thing a good lawyer does. If you go to court, get your client a suit.
Yeah.
Because they see you coming in dragging chains in the orange zone.
Oh, it's done.
It's all
Right.
It's correct. You come in a suit, he's a nice looking young man.
But and that's the problem. A good lawyer.
Yeah. But a lot of people can't afford it.
You can't afford it. So you get public defenders. You got public defenders. And they got case laws bigger than goddamn me.
He come there with 3 suitcases and sit them down and which one are you? Which one are you?
He won't sit down here going, my client, Mr. Hernandez. Hold on.
And that's Jack with breakfast?
Listen to me, everybody out there watching. Listen to me. If you're going to be serious about being a criminal,
what?
If you're going to take your criminal career serious,
I'm not sure where he's going with
this. For those of you out there listening,
the views of Swab the Mayor do not necessarily.
Let's see where he's going with this.
If you're going to be serious about being a criminal, you need 2 suits.
2 suits.
You need 2 suits. You need 1 suit. Actually, you need 3 suits. If you're going to be a real criminal, you need 3 suits. 1 suit for the funerals.
Okay.
You need 1 suit for court.
Okay.
And you need another suit for the celebration after you get acquitted. And then you need to have your mama take care of your suits, have them dry cleaned on a regular basis. That way, if you ever get picked up in the suite, you tell your mama bring you suit 1, suit 2, suit 3. Don't depend on your lawyer to get you no suit. That's the other thing. You do need a good lawyer. But if you're going to be a serious criminal, if you're actually going to do something with this criminal lifestyle that you're living, you actually going to do something. You know, you're not going to just do it for a little while and put it down, or you're not going to do it for enough money to go to the ride, or wherever you're going to go. What you're going to need to do is, if you're going to be a lifetime career criminal, you need 3 suits.
Okay, that's not the
Beyond that, if you're going to be a career criminal, you need to have your lawyer.
This is true.
You need to have your lawyer on retainer.
Yeah, but I thought you were going to go with 3 suits like the black man costume, the Hancock costume, I'm a hero, or Iron Man, fuck these bitches, you can shoot me, I'm gone. That's what I thought you were going.
The really real of it is, if you're going to be a career criminal, be a small white guy.
That's easy, man.
Where's your white suit?
Be a small white guy.
Nice.
Find out how Michael Jackson
Jeffrey Dahmer victim was running, bleeding from the anus, and the cop said, go back. That is a true story. He was bleeding, and they said, go back to your
He was bleeding from the arm.
Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy got all them victims because he looked like a helpless little white guy.
The guy was running to an alley,
that's all.
bleeding, and the cops were like, go back over there to your boyfriend.
Fuck this.
And then he ate him.
Fuck this. This is not
cool. Ted Bundy got away with this shit. Your worst criminals in U.S. history are those criminals that are not brought to the spotlight. However, that's your fault. You fucking monkeys.
You had to do it again, didn't you?
I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna go off in a minute.
You had to do it again.
I'm gonna do it. Everybody out there that has their hands out, that's asking to be equal.
This was our intro.
Yeah,
It's a long ass intro.
It's starting to start. Hey, we fucked up.
We got some.
You were here last week?
That was my
Y'all want a break? Hit pause.
That goes why you dirty dick Africans out there.
Yes, I saw that too. Chief Brown ain't fucking around. Nigga, I need Chief Brown and I need motherfucking me Craig Watkins to run for the presidential campaign in 2016. You
Shout out
know?
to Clay Davis.
Yeah, these niggas ain't playing. Nigga, 5 cops got fired, 2 under indictment right now going to jail. Nigga, Chief Brown ain't fucking around. That's my dude right there.
Hey, he was even talking shit about his own son.
He was talking shit about his own son.
Because you know what? If it applies, it applies. For real.
Wow. I need a presidential bid campaign. I need a vice president campaign for Chief Brown and my DA, Mr. Craig Watkins.
Wrong is wrong. It ain't got no cover. It ain't got no cover.
60 cases.
Yeah, against those 2 cops that had, was tampering evidence the whole night. They did crime tampering and
we knew that shit was wrong when we first started. They're like,
same
it's amazing it took this long.
Tamper this.
But it took this police chief, and it took this DA spending more time going back correcting shit from the 80s and the 70s that Wade during that goddamn run his asses on convicted our cause, trying to get that shit right. And everything that we are talking about right now, again, pertains directly to what we're talking about. Yeah. You have to equal out this goddamn plane, dude. You know, and again, the reason why.
That's supposed to be blind, but that motherfucker.
Hey, listen.
It ain't blind, like you said, so long as you sit the defendant right there and say, look. And like you said, they're not, they don't have any money. They can't have the suit. They have the public defender. Okay, they're seen.
Right.
They ain't nothing blind about that shit.
And I mean, like all of this sounds good theoretically speaking, but you know what I'm saying. The fact of the matter is that the justice system ain't looking to change it and make it better because they're making too much money off of it.
Exactly.
The way it is.
And I'm gonna break it down. Well, you monkeys get this shit together.
If crime dropped 40%, how much unemployment there would be in the justice system?
And this is one of the reasons why the Innocent Project is bankrupting states. Innocent Project is not just Texas, it's nationwide. And it's bankrupting states. When you currently have close to 300 to 400 exonerees that are getting paid by these states, what do you call it? What do you call them to get paid like that?
What, the non-profit stuff?
Restitution.
Oh,
when they get paid restitution, you did? This is one of the reasons why, you know, regardless of y'all like, damn, Obama, y'all can't make sure they, they do these deficits and not go into this, state shit. Okay, the main things that are getting cut are government-funded institutions. A lot of these government-funded institutions deal directly with the criminalization. So you really should be happy because they do not have the money now from government sanctions to put you in jail over bullshit. They don't have the manpower. They're not going to have the staff manpower for it.
They got to be careful about what they put your ass behind bars for.
Exactly.
We talked about it before when you started privatizing,
privatizing prisons. That was crazy. That's crazy. And that's why they privatized prisons for the government sanctions.
Right.
All right? And so now they're cutting this out. The government is saying, no, we ain't paying this shit no more. Because y'all put motherfuckers behind bars on bullshit.
Yeah.
You did? And so this is one of the reasons why, and one of the things you should be happy for, that they did not get resolution for whatever that big word is. What do they call it again?
What in the session?
Yeah, session, whatever the fuck it's called. That big ass word with an S.
He said big word. You talking about the sequester?
That's it. That's it right there.
Sequester just means to quiet people.
Well, there you go.
For the record.
Okay. Well, I don't even know what the fuck they got to do with taxes, but well, listen.
It's to say shh. For real.
Basically, on the bottom line,
Hey, shut the fuck up.
this sequester that's taking place in the government
Right.
to shut you up or people up is an automatic budget cut. It was originally scheduled for $103 billion, but because we're already 2 months in, it's going to be $83 billion in government spending that is immediately cut out of the budget, and that's going to be effective March 17th, and you'll see the mass part of it taking place in the beginning of April. The mass part of it takes place with government-funded institutions, i.e. the privatization of prisons. This is why prison was big business for private companies, because the government would say, we would pay you $4 or $5 million a month to house criminals, because they believed the criminalization was at a all-time high, and it was, based upon the laws passed on the war against drugs, originally started by George G. Bush, carried on by his son, us, the crack epidemic that hit in the 80s, to where if you got caught with an ounce of crack, a piece of crack, it was an automatic 15 to 20 year sentence. There was no trial, jury, automatic.
And then you have all these
And then you got all the people that were smoking cocaine.
Right.
Yeah, three strike rules. You know what I'm talking about, in California.
Yeah.
And so if you get caught selling drugs because you're a high school dropout, of course it was all disproportionate to the minority community, and I'm talking about minorities in a minute too. But with this law, the war against drugs, to where you throw crack in the streets, kids are dropping out of high school because their parents ain't even giving a fuck about their ass because they high on crack. The murder rate shooting up all over the goddamn near-ass place. Everybody's going to jail that's of color. And there was big business then, and government was like, God damn, we gotta pay for this all this shit right here. So that's why privatization of prisons became so popular all across the country. And you should be happy now that the sequester did not go through today that is cutting funding for these programs. So that means that you now have to be tried by law. That means these police ain't gonna be running around doing this old crazy bullshit no more. This means more people like our DA and our Chief of Police, Chief Brown, are going to be firing these damn cops with these old false ass cases. Playing goddamn me drywall on people. And sitting their ass in jail. That shit's crazy.
He said drywall.
Baby, that happened. I ain't gonna lie to you. That shit is crazy. This Dallas is crazy, dog. Real crazy like that. And they do this shit. But again, this shit is coming to an end, so be happy the sequester did not go through. Now listen, I'm sorry that y'all may be losing your jobs. You know, I'm sorry that y'all may be getting furloughs and all this shit right here. But you got unemployment, get you a real job.
They got furlough.
You know what I'm talking about?
No, furlough.
Furlough. It's all good. So, be happy, mass populace. This is good for you. Because the biggest expense is getting cut. It's non-defensive, and it has nothing to do with your Medicare, it has nothing to do with your retirement. None of that stuff is getting touched. They can't touch that. But the main thing that is getting touched are government-funded programs. The biggest government-funded program are private prisons.
But isn't that a funny flip side to the payroll taxes going up, and now people are going to have to collect on unemployment so that money applies?
How residual is that?
I mean, I may look stupid. But I'm doing no math.
Great
if
point.
you're mad about the payroll taxes, but now you're unemployed, aren't you happy? Because you have unemployment money?
No. That the tax people are, with the working tax people are paying for.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. So, with that being said, that's one. And two, you got to understand the bigger picture. If you understand the bigger picture, it gives you more clarity about what's taking place and lets you form a better opinion. The bigger picture about this is my monkeys pay attention. Because this pertains to you. Alright? We just went through the month of, listen, there's not another culture, and that's the word I want people to start using, is culture of people, that beg as much as we do.
Thank you.
There is not another culture of people that beg as much as us black monkeys. No, that's you. I don't beg shit. I'll work for mine.
Begging and
I
whining.
don't get mine.
Begging and whining.
Wine and borrowing.
You begging monkeys are making it bad for everyone. I'm gonna first start off with when they say that we're a 13% population of these here great United States of America. I'm gonna take it before I even go that way. I'm gonna tell you something else. I talked about it 2 weeks ago, last week. One, take black off the name. Take African American off the name. You are an American. Period. Period. And why am I? Let me reiterate this to you. In being an American, period, when you fill out a census form, and it says Caucasian, Native American, African American, Latin American, other.
No, it doesn't say for the record. It says
Hispanic?
no, it don't say Hispanic. That's another thing I want.
Okay, well listen.
I have to check other.
Okay,
because they either want to be white or black.
Let me go directly along these lines. Let me go directly along these lines. Caucasian is not a fucking race.
And I'm not part of it.
Okay? Caucasian is not a race. Caucasian is a classification of color.
What the fuck is that?
Alright? So, if you really want to break the shit down, you want to make it even. To understand what I'm saying, all square. Yeah. Take Caucasian out, put in Italian American, English American, Portuguese American, French
They
American,
be confused then. They don't
Spaniard
I say
American,
throw wasp back in.
Greek American,
Why not? White
Um,
Anglo-Saxon. Right.
German American,
Anglo-Saxon.
then Native American, then African American, and then redo the whole poll. And then you really see who the minority is here. And I assure you, it won't be the African American.
Right.
Alright? I can pretty much guarantee there's a population of French America that maybe 2% of the United States.
When did Italian become white? I asked you that last
The
week.
Italian Americans may make up 10% of the United States. The German Americans may up, yeah, right, yeah. No, we really go someplace with that. So if you understand the context of what I'm saying and where I'm going with this, then you understand that there cannot be a minority called African American because you monkeys ain't never been to Africa. Alright? You monkeys are American.
And lions and zebras were.
Alright?
I'm scared.
Your mama was born in America. Your daddy was born in America. You were born in America. You are American.
I was born in Michigan.
You are American.
Not Mexico.
Alright?
You're a Michigan American?
You are a Michigan American.
I'm Michigan American.
I'm a New York American.
Yeah. So when I left Lansing, after I was born, there was no more Mexican.
Hey, Pac-Man, that's money.
Pac-Man.
And you want to say Texas American. Wherever you were born in the United States, you classify like that.
I've been to Mexico.
How about that? Classify like that.
And it was Cancun.
Because everything else is irrelevant. It's American, man.
Yep.
You are, so once you accept your Americanism,
Yes, sir.
I'm more afraid to go to Mexico than I am to go to Africa.
Okay.
you need, I don't want no parts of Africa. Shit. There's nothing appealing about that. Their food don't look like it's good.
They beheaded people out of Mexico. Fuck that.
They gonna hold me for ransom and tell him to pay money. He ain't got no money. What's wrong with you?
They know.
They'll put you in the trash.
Oh, they know that. They will not kidnap you. They will not kidnap you. They will not kidnap you. Oh, hell no. These niggas ain't gonna play. They kidnap them French Americans and them Spaniard Americans and them German Americans. They'll kidnap them motherfuckers because them motherfuckers they had no other.
Everyone got money to pay for
I'm just
fucking
saying,
ransom.
I'm an American who married an American. I
So I'm like, give me $10 million.
I didn't marry outside my race. I didn't marry outside. I married an American. Payment plan.
You're a human.
I'm getting both of
That's your culture. Listen, you need to read all this shit, dude.
Exactly.
Listen, you use culture words. My culture is the same thing as Latina's culture.
Yes, it is.
We believe in the same things. We believe in a way of life. Our culture of life is the same, which is why we get along. And sex is very important. Did I mention that?
Man, that's
All right. No.
I was going to I just didn't want to marry my cousin. So I'm like, I was from a small town and everybody was related. And I didn't marry my cousin. Then.
You really, listen, that's weird.
I'm saying.
You really fucked
That
up.
was I'm
I'm gonna get
not to go to the door. I say that because I know many of white folks that have. I know many of white folks that have. I know many of white folks that have and still consider themselves American.
white folks.
Because you're not paying attention.
I understand. Okay, now, with that being said,
Because I didn't.
easy now. Let's ease
Don't be
it.
scared.
So nice.
Don't you shy away from me? You like those monkeys and shit?
I'm talking about monkeys. I ain't married any of my cousins,
Ain't
man.
that a bitch?
We having sexual relations with cousins. And you got these damn retards down here. That's the problem with these damn monkeys. Well, anywho, one, understand, let me break, and this is very, very important. It may sound simplistic in what I'm saying, But if you understand the simplistics of what I'm saying, then you understand the dynamics of how confused we actually are. Alright? One, we are not black, white, all this shit right here. We are American.
Yes.
All you monkeys out there, listen to me. You're an American. You're not black. You're an American. You've never been to Africa. You're not an African American. Alright? So now, with that being said,
I'm sorry.
if your culture dictates a lifestyle that's equative to people you interact with, you are of the same culture, regardless of the color content. So now the color content or the indefiniteness of, that has nothing to do with the relationship of the people that are involved, that marinate around one another. And what makes it so universal is that the exact same theories I'm talking about right now is the exact same thing that happens when you have football games that are played, soccer games that are played. Let me capsize that. For 3.5 hours, when you go into the stadium, except Cowboy Stadium, we'll talk about that later. When you go to a stadium like in Philly, or in Baltimore, or in those crazy motherfuckers out there in San Francisco.
Crazy motherfucker territory.
No. In Oakland. Them Oakland Raider motherfuckers. Woo!
Are they black?
That is a race of straight Oakland Raider fans. Doesn't matter religious background, color preference, who you love, where you came from, and all the stuff right here. It does not matter. For 3.5 hours, they are one culture rooting for their team.
For that 3 hours.
And it's the breakdown of that needs to be applied simplistically to those as a culture outside of it. You are a culture of people that are born here in the United States, that have the exact same rights as anyone else, but you segregate yourself because you say black. When you say black, you want to make a defining statement. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because, as I was saying earlier, we are the most begging, open-handed motherfuckers because we want to segregate ourselves and think we're entitled to something that we're not entitled to. You don't hear about the Asian community talking about getting my rights and reparations. Although they were slaves here too. They were the ones that built the railroads. And you know what? When they was over here and getting treated like monkey shit, they didn't complain and say shit. What they did was that after hours was over, building those railroads, they went back to their own culture and kept amongst their own self and kept their customs, kept their traditions, kept their language. Okay, when you say, right, they beat the language out of us with the slavery talking. They told us not to talk all that. No, bullshit. I tell you why, no bullshit, is because yes, there was a certain point where you could not read and write into their books and read and write into their schooling. Alright? Fine. In the slave capacity, every slave, all the way back to Egyptian times, all the way back to Lulu Hamalu, enslaved times, listen,
don't be disrespectful.
They have down time. Okay? And downtime, look, that's like, it's as simple as this. When you go to work every day, if you go to McDonald's every day, and you check in at McDonald's, you put that apron on, you put that hat on, you appeal by their customs, by their rules, you flip them burgers, you punch that clock, you have a certain way of talking about getting things together, getting things in order, you hit 6-6 turn on the burgers, and y'all talk a different language, y'all talk a whole different communication, and that's what makes McDonald's work. That's what makes McDonald's one of the most successful franchises ever established in the United States of America. Right? But, come 501, when your shift is over, and you making it back to your car, you taking your hat off, taking the apron off, bringing that sigh of relief, get in your car, roll you a blunt, smoke that bitch down, nigga, like, yeah, nigga, put some goddamn ass Tupac on, roll to the house, roll to your family, and your family has a completely different relaxed attitude. You playing dominoes, you drinking good, you talking cash money shit to your niggas and all stuff right here. You ready to go to strip club with some hookers and shit, such as also a culture that is not of McDonald's. Right? A culture that is not of McDonald's. However, the next day, once McDonald's comes on, you back into that McDonald's mode and you working again. So it's the exact same thing from Lulu Amalu to Egyptian slaves to the American slaves, to where they say they took the tongue away. No, you had your same tongue. You talk your same tongue. You still your same culture. The whole damn nine, but you choose to forget it and leave it alone. You let it go, monkey.
Wow.
Asians did it, kept that same thing, did exactly what they had to do under the work of the man. Native Americans did the exact same thing under the boot of the man. You monkey niggas let it go and conform. Alright?
Weak ass.
So, with that being said, I'm here to tell you the truth about what is actually needs to take place. Is that one, your culture is now American. You don't ask for equal. You create equal. You don't need to put anything in the books that says the government will treat you as equal. The equal treatment you want is in your house. It's in your community. It's when you walk the streets in your neighborhood. And the only way that begins is since we sold ourselves out so much. I haven't talked in a long time.
You know what? Let me say this real quick. This was like Tuesday. I'm going to work. I'm walking into the building.
Getting on the road and shit.
Yeah.
Why you say that?
You do that. I'm walking into the building, and I don't pay attention to folks. You know what I'm saying? I got my headphones on or whatever. I'm just going. And I told you, I'm in the elevator jamming too. I don't give a shit. And sometimes I'll put that shit on speaker just to fuck with people, because that's what I do. But what caught my attention is that I'm walking towards the building, and there's two gentlemen in front of the building. It's an older, white, silver-haired man and a younger, darker-haired man. I don't care about ethnicity, because I don't. But like I said, I focus on the fact that he was silver-haired. And he's talking, and he's like animated when he's talking, right? But what catches my attention, because he's like, yeah, and he was telling me this, and this, and I said, slow your roll. And you need to do this, and this. And I said, did this old white-haired silver man just, and he said it, and with conviction. Silver-haired.
Silver.
I'm sorry, silver-haired. No.
Like you talking to the Silver Surfer.
Well, no, that's not far from the truth. But anyway, like I said, as much as we attempt, my point is, as much as we attempt to separate from it, again, you have this older white gentleman talking the same way that you do. So what separation is there really? Other than the separation we create when it's convenient. Or the separation they also create when it's convenient. Because my point was, he was talking the same language I do. You know what I'm saying? And with conviction, like I said, he knew what it stood for, all that stuff. The separation only occurs when it's convenient. And that saddens me. But we're still speaking the same, like you said, Americans, we're all still speaking the same language.
I feel you on that, baby.
So what?
I feel you. And like you say, it's a language, it's a communication gap, and all this good stuff right here. If you communicate on the lines and the terms in which I understand you're communicating at, then I can react the exact same way. But I'm believing it's a cultural aspect. Race needs to be taken out the picture. Although we got realities that's going on. Everybody knows that niggas go to jail 5 times faster than any white folks. Hispanics go to jail 4 times faster than any white folks. Know what I'm talking about? But so what? Alright? That's the reality, that's the fact. Stay out the court. How do you stay out the court? Have a damn good lawyer. How you get a damn good lawyer? Don't fuck with them white folks. How you don't fuck with them white folks? Fuck with their own.
I named my Jewish baby.
You did? Fuck with your own.
Sometimes you're wrong.
Hey, fuck you,
sometimes we need to just stop doing shit.
Oh, no. We do the exact same shit these white folks do.
Nothing.
Man, fuck them Jews.
We.
I'm not arguing. I'm just saying sometimes
Fuck
we
them
do
Jews.
put ourselves in
Fuck them
I'm not
Germans.
saying we always do that
Fuck all them
shit,
niggas.
but sometimes we do stupid shit.
We nothing. I don't do shit.
I didn't say you.
I don't know anybody that do shit.
I do.
I'm kind of about it.
I do.
I don't.
I already say I'm the sweetest one.
I don't know nothing. Don't ask me nothing because I don't know that.
Oh.
I ain't got no information for you. I ain't got no information for you. I can't help.
I'm not saying that the shit doesn't. Trust me, I know it happens.
What I do?
Are you black?
Sometimes we do the same shit.
No.
Do you drive in Texas?
No.
Okay.
You're suspect to go to jail.
I drive baby.
This guy said suspect.
I need car service.
Party bus, nigga.
Right. We need a party bus just
12 hours a day. Everywhere we go.
We should live on the party bus and see.
Soon one day, well, that'd be great.
No.
But listen what I'm saying. All I'm trying to do. All I'm trying to
We cut off. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm so sorry.
I apologize.
I'm talking about
I don't even know no more.
Jewish people.
No, that was
You said we bring this stuff on our
No, that's not what I said. I said sometimes it happens.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. Trust me, I'm not trying to sit there and encompass a whole culture, community. No. I'm just saying, if you sit there and you're like, because so many times, my people too, they glorify going to jail. That's not something. No, you're supposed to want to stay the fuck out of there.
No, I never want to go to jail. No.
Right.
I can't.
And that's all I'm saying is that
There's no women in jail.
There are no pretty women in jail.
There's no pretty women in jail.
None. Conjugal visits not for me.
I'm not
There are no
saying
pretty
that
women in jail.
the shit comes on us, you know what I'm saying, whether we like it or not. I know that, but I'm also saying that there's other stupid shit that we bring upon ourselves when we do all that pimp. Like, oh boy, you see that shit about old boy in, what was it, Florida? No, California? He called himself a pimp, and he took pictures of himself with money and prostitutes or whatever, and he drove. There was an incident where he was arguing with the dude. They exchanged arguments or whatever, and he drove into him. He pushed that car into another vehicle. He ended up killing 6 people.
Yeah.
Shit.
Again, that he brought on himself, color or not. I'm just saying, there's certain things you can, but then he sat there and he prophesied, I'm a pimp, I'm a self-made pimp. It looked bad. All I'm saying, there's certain shit that we do, and I say that we bring on ourselves. That was all I was saying. I'm not saying as a whole people, but you sat there because you was mad at old boy, you exchanged words, you went over there and you ended up killing 6 other people. It looked bad.
What do you do?
Not me personally. I'm just saying that was my point. That was it.
Okay.
You confused. I saw your face.
A little bit. But we'll get there. And that's what it's about.
I don't need you to. It's okay.
That's what it's about.
I got places to go, got people to see. The paying attention ring ain't the place for me. Ain't no girls where I'm at and I'm in the wrong place.
I'm
There's
saying.
certain things we shouldn't glorify with my point.
Not going to jail.
I understand.
Glorifying being a pimp? No.
Absolutely not.
You
must be very careful about how
I
you go about it.
you're a pimp, right?
I ain't gonna find nothing. I just is what I am. I am a motherfucking pimp.
What do you pimp?
State facts.
What do you pimp?
I pimp anything that can move. You know.
Go ahead. Do it.
I live my life shine.
Double dog here.
I pimp situations myself. I'm a pimp of situations.
Triple dog.
I'm a pimp of organization. I'm a pimp of calculations.
I ain't glorifying it, I'm just stating facts.
I'm out these streets letting my light shine. That's what I'm doing. Shit.
So with that being
Let
said,
my light shine.
listen. One of the amazing things that is just that, and we.
You made us sneeze.
I did all this to build up to the bullshit called Black History Month.
Well,
Get rid of that shit.
And that's one reason. That's why I was building up to it.
The short ass mark.
You listen. Black History Month is the biggest crock of shit I've ever heard of in my life. All right. There is no. Listen. My dear monkeys.
oh
dear.
aggressive. Looking good is coming.
Oh no.
Continue. Don't make that face.
Martin Luther King is a great man. Great quotes. He's a preacher. That's what he did. Malcolm X, a motivator of man. Not bad at all. Marcus Garvey. Make it do what it do. He says he wants to leave, and you should too. All great men, all great speakers, and they were great in their own right to a great certain people. Huey Newton. When you talk about slavery, and you show pictures of hangings and lynchings and things of that nature. When you talk about the 70s and the big afros and the long Cadillac cars and the, stuff like that, disco music, and you attribute all these things to be in black history, you really disgust me. To be honest with you. To be honest with you, really disgust me. You're embarrassing and...
What do you mean by that?
Oh, I'm about to explain to you. I'm about to explain for you. Listen. Malcolm X, born in America. Martin Luther King, born in America. Marcus Garvey, born in America. Daddy Shabazz, born in America. African slaves were born in America. This is American history, not black history. It was a part of our culture, what took place back then. But there were other cultures that were partly affected by it, that contributed to it just as whole, that helped remove it just as whole, that
died
for it, that walked hand in hand with Martin Luther King. That when Malcolm X saw the light, he understood that blue eyes and blonde hair were just as beautiful or just can be just as evil as dark eyes and black hair. And that's when he finally realized the truth about the shit. That's why he was a confused ass nigga. When he realized the truth about it, you're dead. He killed the shit. He was mad. One, he was getting instructions from a motherfucker that didn't have shit to do with the United States and was just being a goddamn voice puppet. How the fuck are you a grown man to being a voice puppet?
And he was...
And then when he finally found his own mind when he made his pilgrimage to Mecca and came back and wanted to speak his own mind and didn't want to be a puppet no more. When you have Huey Newton, when they want to stand up for black rights, black power, he kind of had the right idea. I ain't gonna lie to you about that.
All power to the people.
All power to the people. He kind of had the right idea about that and all stuff like that, and they realized that J. Hoover did, and immediately shut that shit down.
Come and tell, bro.
yeah. That nigga's on the right track. He understands that he's equal.
That nigga had some shit figured out.
Yeah. He understands he's equal. And he's reading the law. He's reading the law, and he understands the law, he understands the right to bear arms.
Don't tell me I can't have my guns in this place.
Say my gun, bitch. I got the right to assimilate
I ain't
him.
pointed at nobody.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, kill him.
They did that homework.
Yeah, go ahead and kill him.
Damn, this nigga crazy.
Yeah, this is smart nigga.
So they can read and write. He's a danger.
But here, that ball sucking, cock sucking, faggot ass taking up the crotch. J. Edgar Hoover homo.
He was gay.
He was gay. He was a cock sucking faggot. Caused that to kill that man because he knew that Huey Newton was on the right path. You did, and the rest of his team was on too. So they labeled them as extremists. But in the reality of it,
everybody who does that is, right?
Yeah. But in reality, he was just an American expressing his American rights. Now again, when I get to talking like this and all this shit right here, you know, there's certain broadcasts that for whatever reason don't get broadcast out there, or it's blocked, or it's itching, and all stuff like that. And eventually, I don't give a shit. Hey nigga, I'm gonna tell you how I see it.
I still remember when we were doing the whole the UFO thing, and remember the studio shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Right there?
Mm-hmm. So again, when I say one, it's American history, and two, if I bring you up to speed and understand what black history is, and you want to talk about African black history during your Black History Month, and you do not mention the kings, the emperors, the queens, the pharaohs of your black African country. If you want to talk about black history, talk about that. If you want to keep it in America, if you're not talking about the pyramids and the monuments that you built in your image long before slavery was taking place over here, when we were riding the Pangean current over here before they even knew America was here.
No, Pangean.
When we was here
I'll be back.
for over 6,000 to 7,000 years, before they had this in the 1600s with the African slave trade, and understand the African slave trade was just an African slave trade. They had to make deals with the kings and the emperors of these tribes to get these men out of here.
That means somebody over there in Africa was selling somebody over there.
So what I'm asking is, are you saying it's not going too deep?
Oh yeah.
It's not going deep enough. But I was wondering, are you saying it was the bullshit all together, or are you saying it's not going deep enough?
Well, to elaborate, to make sure that I make that clear, if anything happens here in America, it's American history.
Yes.
Period. That's not black history. It's American history. That's it.
Okay, but
see, the same way, like, Pennsylvania has a great tradition called what is that called? I want to say an Irish parade they have in Pennsylvania. They also have they got certain days that they celebrate their culture. And when they celebrate their culture, they talk a certain dialect. The Italian Americans, they have
Columbus Day and
no. They actually have a day that's celebrated in Italy that they do in Little Italy, New York, and a couple other places. But it's an Italian holiday.
Okay.
And you do Chinese New Year, and you know what I'm saying? It goes all the way back to their cultures.
Okay.
You did?
Yeah.
So Cinco de Mayo. You did? They go back to their cultures and celebrate their cultures for that day.
Okay.
Slavery is not our culture.
But you gotta also understand
that's American history.
You gotta also understand, just like I can trace my, as a matter of fact I can trace my history back to 3 different continents.
Oh shit.
Because I've got Native American, so-called Native American blood, which is here. I've got African blood, obviously. And then, but my name is English.
Absolutely.
And I can pull up I can go right now and I can pull up my family crest.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I can pull up my family crest, but I can't pull up my African family crest. There's no lineage there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So when we so-called celebrate, and I do agree, it's not nearly as deep as it should be.
And that's what I'm saying.
But when we do so-called celebrate February is Black History Month or whatever, there's only so far that goes. Now, I do agree, African history is world history, because man came from this earth from Africa.
Everything started in Africa.
Everything started in Africa. So everybody should be celebrating that. Not only blacks, Hispanics, white, everybody should be celebrating Africa, the pyramids, knowing about their history. But however, there is a limitation of the knowledge that I have. There is a limitation of the knowledge I have. Now, I don't agree with what always made me bad as a youngster, and that's what got me into history, and that's why, quite frankly, I went and found out on my own. And I challenge all people, whatever culture you are, go find out about your own shit. Because in class, they only gonna give you a certain amount of shit.
Absolutely.
So every February came around, as Boogie Down Production said, all I heard was you were bought, you were sold. I heard about the peanut, Martin Luther King, and okay, now let's move on.
Yeah, black people took up like all the 3 paragraphs in the history book.
Yeah. I'm like, damn, that's it.
Right.
So I had to find out about even our history here. It's much knowledge about our history here that hasn't come. The large majority, I just saw a thing on the revolution. And, the large majority of the great
American Revolution,
the greatest American general, Mr. Washington, President Washington, a large majority of the troops were black. You don't see that. You don't hear it. It's not discussed. You see a picture, ain't no black folks on there, nothing. You don't hear nothing about that. You hear nothing about that. And at the end of the war, he abandoned all of them. Don't hear nothing about that. Don't hear nothing about the great man abandoning all these people that just helped them win the war. We wasn't allowed into another war until World War II. You don't hear shit about that. And that's the history that I like to find out about. Like you said about the Asians. The thing is to me that separates us, and you did touch on a large part of this. The thing that separates our culture from other cultures is we really don't have a culture. It's one out there, but we haven't pulled it together like the Asians, the Jews, all these other cultures. They have their culture. They pulled it together. They teach it to the next. And all we have, like I say all the time, people do all this bitching and complaining. The main thing we should be bitching and complaining about the school books, because they're not right. They're not right as far as where we're concerned.
Right.
I'm not saying you need to have a black dude on the cover, but goddamn, we contribute a lot to this country. We have contributed a lot to this goddamn country, and it's like you don't hear none of it. Native Americans get a better shake in the history books than we do. And they were almost wiped out. They get a better shake in the history books than we do. When you go to a Chinese neighborhood, an Asian neighborhood, you're there. You can go and find out different things about different things. Okay? All I can really tell you about any black, whatever you want to call it, black, African American, whatever you want to call it, culture in any city in this country is if you look up and you find you on Martin Luther King, you're in a black neighborhood.
yeah, perfect.
That's the only thing I can tell you. That's consistent
right there
from city
in the
to city. You know you're right there. You look up, you're on MLK Boulevard.
You better get your ass off.
And that's the only culture. That's the only culture. You don't have a Chinatown or a Little Mexico or all these little Italy. You don't have these. You got Martin Luther King. And if you're in the progressive, you got Malcolm X. And they probably meet somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's it. So I do get your point. I get your point. I'm 100% down with it. But all I'm saying is, to your point earlier, where you were saying, stop looking for handouts and things of this nature. It's up to you to dig.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's up to you to dig, and it's up to you to get this shit put in these books.
Absolutely.
And if you can't get them put in these books, then you need to get your own book.
Right.
What we do is we're going into the after hours. So let me close this show out. We're going to close this motherfucking show out. And if y'all continue to watch us on the record as we're talking, we'll still keep the channel feed live and everything. But this is where we're going to end the recording part of our second show. Now I appreciate y'all tuning in, tuning in and checking us out for another week tonight. You know what I'm saying? We missed y'all. Glad we're back on the air and all the good stuff right here. Shout out to Big Swab Birdie. This motherfucking man's birthday weekend, kicking in this motherfucker. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all do a Big Swab style. Yeah.
archive.
Yeah, baby, yeah. He's on one, he's on the Big Swab Burger. You hear me?
Man,
I'm just happy to be
Do
here.
your damn thing, big homie. Kick it big and do your big as usual. You know what I'm talking about? As well as I want y'all to keep awareness out there about ourselves, about our culture, about our country. And I hope y'all continue to tune in because we still gonna have some after hour conversation. And it's gonna go ham takes in the plate. I can't wait to hear what this young man has to say right now. And then we're gonna go ahead and get into it. And definitely
Pork is the white man.
Still white man backwards, what does it spell?
shout out to Young Beezy. I heard he moved this today or he's moving this weekend or this stuff right here.
Saw the bottle.
Yeah.
Saw the bottle on the counter.
I'm on the party.
We ready for a house party, nigga. No, we don't move you. We just go ahead and party with you. We're at the house party. So, and most definitely, shout out to my sister Noni. She's moving this weekend. I gotta get some rest. She got me on. Yeah, I'm on detail tomorrow. So I gotta rest up. Empty out the truck and 10 o'clock. You know, we're moving up close to around here. So again, as always, walk is one. Y'all be good. As rest of the cast and crew is goddamn me as usual. Big ass salute. The E-Bang, the Black Widow in the house, the Love Miss Lala Latina, of course, Big Swab Burger, the Urban African as usual, and your boy the IK00. As always, walk is one. We're about this bitch. Y'all make sure y'all take some half hours. Now,
Okay, bye.
okay, so